Okay. So same as usual, finding a comfortable position. If you're seated, see if you can give yourself space at the front. So encouraging a little bit of a better seated position to allow the breath to happen. So feeling the belly expanding on the inhalation and relaxing on the exhalation. Just good. Okay. If you're lying down, finding a comfortable position for the head, the shoulders and the arms, encouraging the palms to turn and face up to the ceiling, the front of the shoulder, the front of the chest to open up, the collarbones to spread a little bit wider, the front of the body to relax a little bit more. And then at the same time, notice how the body feels and notice where the breath is. If I can feel myself breathing at the top of the chest, so if I feel that it's the top of my chest that is actually raising and falling, see if I can encourage softness and relaxation at the top. See if I can encourage the diaphragm to move inside of the rib cage. So feeling the belly raising with the inhalation and then falling with the exhalation. So see if I can calm the breath and then calm the body down at the same time. As you feel the breath feels a little bit more relaxed, the body feels that little bit more settled, I'm going to start focusing on the shoulder girdle. So think of your shoulder blades. I'm going to try and see if I can unglue the shoulders from the back of the ribcage. So imagine them to be stuck against the back of the ribcage. I'm going to try and make them glide against it. So I'm going to start shrugging the shoulders up to the head, and then I'm going to press them down and away. I'm going to shrug them up and then press them down. So feeling the shoulder blades sliding towards the head as you pull your shoulders up to your ears, and then sliding them down towards the middle of the back as you press them down and away. So I'm going to shrug and press, lift and drop. And then maintaining that movement going, noticing difference between the right and the left side. One side feels stiffer, or the movement just feels different. Maybe a little bit more tension across the front of the chest that is pulling my shoulder forward. See if I can try and keep the shoulders out, to see if I can keep the chest lifted, the chest open as I'm moving the shoulder girdle up and down. 3, 2, 1, and releasing back, and resetting the shoulders back in a comfortable position. And then this time I'm going to try and see if I can focus it just on the right side. So I'm going to shrug the shoulder up to the head, and then this time as I press it down with my right arm, with my right hand, I'm going to reach along the side of the body as if somebody grabbed a hold of my arm and was pulling it down. So see if I can encourage a little bit more stretch down over the top of the shoulder into the side of the neck. And then I'm going to shrug the shoulder up again, and then reaching down into the shoulder, reaching down into the arm. See if I can find a gentle stretch again. Shrugging the shoulder and then pressing it down. If you feel that the movement feels quite smooth or quite relaxed, I want to make the stretch a little bit stronger. Then as I press the shoulder away, as I reach with the arm, I'm going to move the head in the opposite direction. So see if I can create a gentle stretch or a slightly stronger stretch that comes up to the side, into the side of the neck, towards the bottom of the jaw, bottom of the ear. Then I'm going to ease back, and then I'm going to lengthen it again. 5, 4, 3, 2, and then last one, I'm going to reach with the arm, depress the shoulder, and then as I keep the head towards the left, towards the side, see if you can, think of a small movement. I'm just going to start moving my head side to side slightly. See if I can find a better position that gives me a better stretch. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Then easing the tension, releasing the arm, relaxing the head back to the middle. allowing the arm to relax down the side. That right shoulder should be feeling really dropped, really relaxed compared to the left. So I'm going to try and see if I can do the same thing on the left side. So I'm going to shrug the shoulder up to the head, up to my ear. And then as I press it down with that left arm, I'm going to reach down the side as if somebody grabbed hold of it and was pulling it down. Then I'm going to ease, shrug the shoulder, and then again, reach in long, pressing down as far as I can, and then lifting up again. So keeping the movement going, same as you did on the other side. If the stretch doesn't feel too strong, so if it's not giving me any problem, any pain, any discomfort, then I might want to make it a little bit stronger by tipping the head, pulling the head towards the right, just in the opposite direction. See if I can try and create a little bit more of a stretch down the side of the neck. Then shrugging back in again, and then I'm going to lengthen it and open it out. 5, without forcing. 4, 3, 2. Last one, I'm going to reach down with the arm. I'm going to keep that tension. And then same as I did to the other side. It was tiny, tiny little movement of the head. I'm just going to rotate it gently, one side and the other, until I feel that I've got the stretch in a better position where I feel that I really need it there. It feels really tight, really stiff. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and easing back. Easing the tension, releasing the head, bringing it back to the middle. The shoulders should be feeling a little bit more relaxed, and the neck should be feeling a little bit longer. I'm going to see if I can start getting the shoulder joint involved. Both arms together, I'm going to start to bring them up to the front, coming up with the front raise. I'm going to keep lifting them as far as I feel comfortable reaching, and then I'm just going to bring them down by the side. But see if you can focus on what's happening to the neck as the arms are moving. If I feel that the shoulders start shrugging, so I can feel tension again into the side of the neck, then I'm trying too hard. I'm going to make the movement a little bit smaller. See if I can keep the neck longer, the shoulders relaxed. I should be able to turn my head from side to side as the arms are moving. So the neck is not locking, it's not stiffening, it's not tightening up. So it could be a very little lift, it could be a very big lift. It's whatever works for both right and left side. 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, and releasing back, releasing the shoulders, releasing the arms, a little bit more movement into the shoulder. I'm going to change the angle of the movement. Instead of going for a front raise, I'm going to go for a lateral raise. So this time I'm going to go wide, round the side and up, and then I'm just going to come back and return the arms down by the side again. So same as you did for the front raise, it doesn't matter if the movement is only a small movement, it doesn't matter if it's a big one. So if you can find something relaxing, so I can feel the weight of the arms, they might start feeling a little bit heavier. I'm just going to have a little rest in between lifts, but making sure that the tension is not traveling up into the neck, so I don't feel my shoulders shrugging again, I don't feel my upper body tensing. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And releasing back, giving the shoulders a little bit overall. It's a little bit more movement into the shoulder joint, so arm hopefully feels a little bit looser. The shoulder feels a little bit easier to move. I'm going to see if I can start getting the back a little bit more involved. So it doesn't matter if I'm seated or lying down. I'm just going to reach the hand to the side of the right hand to the side of the ear, to the right side of the head, right side of the face. And then from there, I'm just going to keep the hand against the side, back of the head. I'm going to take a deep breath in. As I breathe out, I'm going to try and point the elbow to the right side of the room. So I'm going to try and open up the arm, see if I can create a slightly stronger stretch across the front of the shoulder. Then I'm going to bring the elbow back to point straight ahead. And then I'm going to open it out to see if I can try and stretch it out. And then come in. So as I did before, it doesn't matter if the movement feels really small, just making sure that I'm not forcing. It doesn't feel as if the shoulder is suddenly getting closer to the side of the head, to the side of my face. It doesn't feel as if the joint is suddenly in an awkward position. Is it catching? Is it painful? Is pinching? It feels loose. There might be tension. If the muscles across the front of the chest, I might feel a nice good stretch going across there. If the muscles are not tight, then it should be feeling quite easy, quite loose. 4, 3, 2, making sure that the head is still sitting on top of the shoulder, especially if I'm sitting up. I'm not pushing my head forward, I'm not pushing my head down. Last one. And releasing back. Releasing the shoulder, relaxing the arm. I'm going to try the same thing with the other side. So reaching the hand to the side, back of the head. And then same as I did on the other side, I'm going to start opening the arm out to the side. And then I'm going to bring it back to the front. I'm going to open it to the side. And then back to the front. So same as on the other side, especially if I'm seated up, the arm will tend to get quite heavy because I'm loading it into the shoulder. So you might find that if you pop the hand on top of the shoulder, that allows you a little bit more support. So I'm just going to rest it on top of my head. The head is lifted, the chin is still level, still parallel to the floor. 4, 3, 2, last one, and releasing back, releasing the shoulder, relaxing the arm, adjusting the shoulders if you need to. I'm going to start encouraging more movement into the back. So this time, I'm going to raise the, right arm in front, and then with the right arm, I'm going to reach across the front of the body to the left. I'm going to try and rotate as far around as I can. And then come back to the center. With the left arm, I'm going to reach across to the right, rotate as far the other way as I possibly can, and then coming back. So imagine to be reaching around to, grab hold of your seat belt. So I'm going to reach around, see if I can grab hold of the seat belt with my right arm, and then reach around to see if I can grab hold of the seat belt with the left hand. Comparing the movement to right and left side. Especially if you're seated, you're quite free to move. You see your back is not resting against the floor, it's not pushing against the floor. So I might be able to move a little bit further, a little bit deeper around one side and the other. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. And releasing back, releasing the shoulders and upper back. It's a little bit more movement through the thoracic. I'm going to start focusing on the lumbar, focusing on the lower back. I'm going to start off with a little pelvic tilt. I'm going to tilt the pelvis back. I'm going to roll onto the back of my seat bones, pressing the lower back into the floor if I'm lying down, and then rocking forward onto the front of the seat bones. See if I can bring the lumbar spine, the lower back into its natural neutral position. Then I'm going to tilt back, pressing the lower back into the floor behind, and then forward, and then back into neutral again. So feeling the hips are rocking gently forward and back, feeling the seat bone if you're sitting up, feeling the weight shifting towards the back of the seat bones, towards the tailbone, and then back up towards the front of the seat bones, almost like towards the pubic bone. If you're lying down, using the floor to guide you, so see if I can tilt the pelvis enough to feel my lower back pressing gently, flattening against the floor, and then back into neutral, and then tilting again. So massaging the back of the hips, massaging the back of the pelvis, the lower back. Noticing any tension into the neck, see if you can avoid pulling with the neck, stiffening the neck. Any tension into the legs, see if I can keep the legs reasonably soft, reasonably relaxed. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and releasing back, releasing the hips and releasing the back. I've got a little bit more movement. I'm going to change the movement ever so slightly. Still working down into the lumbar spine, into the back of the hips, but this time, imagine to have a belly right into the belly, a ball right into the center of the belly. What I'm going to do is to try and roll the ball around my belly button. So I'm going to tilt the pelvis and then rock the hips from one side to the other, tilt the pelvis, rock the hips from one side to the other. So I'm going to try and see if I can create a little bit more movement into the lower back. So see if I can get that ball around the belly, around the abdomen. So I'm going to press a little bit more to the right, roll the hips over to the left, then back to the right, and then over to the left again. Making sure that the movement is not causing pinching or pain across the back and the back of the pelvis. Then I want you to reverse the circle, so you can try and roll the ball the other way round. So see if I can make it go round the other way. 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, and easing back into the middle. Adjusting the hips, adjusting the pelvis, and then I'm going to start to focusing on the legs. I'm going to start off with a little knee drop. So I'm going to shuffle feet and knees nice and close together, and then focusing on the right leg. I'm going to start opening the right leg out to the right to see if I can get the hip joint to move sideways, or the leg to move sideways into the hip joint. Then I'm going to pull the right leg back in again, and then I'm going to open it out again. So think of a small movement, big movement, it doesn't really matter. Just making sure that I'm opening the leg out to the right, it doesn't pinch on the hip, so it's not creating pinching, it's not creating pain. And then same as usual, if I feel that the leg is a little bit too temperamental, so it doesn't want to move, or I can't get the control to move it, I'm just going to use my hands to help me. I'm going to push it slightly out, and then I might push it in again. So see if I can try and loosen up into the hip. We're trying to create some movement into the hip joint. So if you're lying down, making sure that the bum stays on the floor, you're not rotating, you're not twisting to the side. If you're sitting up, making sure that your hips are staying, your seat bones are staying on the chair. You're not moving the seat bones, you're not dragging the seat bones along. 4, squeezing it all the way back. 3, squeeze it back. 2, and squeeze. Last one. And releasing back, relaxing the hip, releasing the leg. I'm going to try the same thing with the other side. So I'm going to adjust to the feet, adjust to the hips if I need. And then start opening that left knee out to the left. The hips are staying on the floor. I'm going to squeeze that leg back in again. And then just noticing the movement. I might find that one leg doesn't move very well, the other leg moves quite easily. The movement feels quite smooth, or it feels a little bit bigger, a little bit smaller. See if I can try and control it through. Using the hands, again, if I need it to help me push it out and open it to the side, and then pull it back in, bringing it back to the center. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. Last one. And releasing back, relaxing the hip, releasing the inner thigh. It's a little bit more movement into the hip joint. I'm going to see if I can, same as I did before the shoulder, change the direction of the movement slightly. Instead of knee drop, I'm going to go into a little knee lift. So same as usual, if you need a little support, popping the strap around the back of the leg. Using your hands if you rather. And then I'm just going to focus on one side. This time I want that leg, the hip to flex, so I want the foot to come up. See if I can lift it off the ground and then ease it back down. It doesn't matter if the lift is not massive. It doesn't matter if I can't actually pull the foot off the ground. But this time, see if you can think of a little movement up and down, feeling the thigh bone moving up and down gently. Trying to encourage, again, a slightly different movement into the hip joint. Focusing on the tension at the front of the hip, see if I can feel those muscles kind of like twitching, tensing to create that little lift, to create that little pull. And then it doesn't matter if you're seated or lying down. See if you can be aware also of a little tension coming out the right, the side of the belly, the front of the belly, helping me to stabilize that lift. So as the leg tries to come up, my back is not being pulled forward, it's not arching, it's not hyperextending. 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, and releasing down, relaxing the leg, little rest for the arms too. If I'm using them to pull at the leg, I'm going to try the same thing with the other side. So if you need the band, switching the band around the left leg with the other leg. And then same as I did on the first side, I'm just going to try and create a little movement up and down. So feeling the thigh bone moving up into the hip socket, and then I'm just going to lower it back. So I'm going to lift and lower. Just to see if I can try and relax into the hip as much as I can, especially if you're using the band, the strap around the leg to control it. think of the leg physically just dropping into the hip socket, just as if I can really keep the leg nice and floppy, nice and relaxed, and then encourage the movement into the hip joint. And then once that I can feel that the movement feels a bit smoother, a little bit more relaxed, and see if I can focus the tension to the front of the hip and the front of the belly on that side. 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, and releasing down, relaxing the hip and releasing the legs. There's a little bit more movement into the hip joint, so feel a little bit more, a little bit looser, a little bit more connected through. I'm going to start working onto the upper body again. This time I'm going to change the position if I'm lying down. So if you're lying down, I want you to roll over onto your side, setting yourself into a little chair position. So I'm just going to roll over onto my side. I'm going to bend the knees so that the knees are directly in front of the hips, so the shins are nice and level to the front of the mat. The bottom arm, I'm going to pull it right to the front so that I'm resting on the back of the shoulder. I'm not crashing the shoulder, I'm not crashing the arm. If I need a support under the head, I'm going to put towel, block or something under the head to support it. If I feel that it's not too bad, the neck feels okay, I might rest it on the floor. And then similar movement to the one that we practiced earlier in the warm-up. I'm going to press the knees together, push them into the floor. I'm going to reach the top hand to the back of the head, back of the ear. And then keeping the hand there, I'm going to take a deep breath in. As I breathe out, I'm going to start turning my rib cage to the side. I'm going to open up as much as I can. Picture not to the elbow touching the ground, but the shoulders. So see if I can think of the rib cage turning towards the mat. The knees are still together, they're still on the floor, so I'm not taking the legs with me, and then I'm going to close back to center. If I'm seated up, I want to try and open up a little bit more than what I did before. So with one hand, with my left hand maybe, I'm just going to pull the leg to the side. With the right hand, I'm going to reach to the head, and then I'm going to try and push the leg away, and then lift and open out to the right. Then I'm going to come back, and then again, pushing the leg out of the way, legs out of the way, and then turning and opening to the side. So see if I can feel the movement up at the top of the spine. So see if I can ease off some of the tension from the thoracic spine. The shoulder is a little bit loose at the front of the chest, a little bit more open, so it shouldn't be feeling too tight, it shouldn't be feeling too stiff or too bad. Just making sure that I'm not forcing it if it feels a bit stiff. 5, 4, 3, 2, chin and head lifted if I'm still seated up, knees together, knees on the floor if I'm lying down. Last one, and releasing back, releasing the shoulders, releasing the back. It's a little bit more movement through the back. I'm going to try and focus on the shoulder a little bit more instead. So this time I'm going to keep the back nice and still. I'm going to reach the arm straight up to the front. I'm going to take it up and take it out. So if I'm laying down, I'll be reaching the arm towards the ceiling. Then I'm going to bring it towards the head, back towards the ceiling, and then to the front again. So I'm going to open it. I'm going to bring it towards the head, open, and then close and come back. So see if I can think of almost like a little staircase. So I'm going to reach to the ceiling, pull to the head, reach to the ceiling, and then to the front again. Reach to the ceiling, pull to the head, reach to the ceiling, and then to the front again. So see if I can be aware of the back of the shoulder, working to support the weight of the arm, making sure that I'm not exaggerating the movement. So again, nothing is pinching, nothing is catching as the arm is traveling. 2 more. Towards the ceiling, down to the head, back to the ceiling, and to the front. Last time. To the ceiling, to the head, to the ceiling, to the front again, and releasing down. Giving the shoulder a little bit of a roll, so a little bit more connection into that, a little bit more movement into the shoulder, into the arm. Changing the position of the upper body if you feel that I'd rather have a block under the head or my arm under the head to support it. And then this time I'm going to focus on the legs. Grab hold of the cushion, grab hold of your pillow, your towel or the ball, and then I'm going to move the bottom leg out of the way. So I'm going to extend it away. And then keeping the top leg bent, I'm going to put the ball or the pillow on the inside of the knee. If you're seated, you're just going to put the pillow between the knees and then focusing on one leg. So if I'm lying down, I'm going to focus on my top leg. If I'm sitting up, I'm going to focus on my right leg. I'm going to squeeze with the right leg into the ball, into the pillow. Then I'm going to release, and then again I'm going to squeeze into the pillow and release. Squeeze into the pillow and release. So see if you can be aware, if you're lying down, see if you can be aware of the tension, not just through the inner thigh, but also crossing the belly underneath underneath the side of the body. If I'm sitting up, see if I can be aware of my left leg holding and my right leg squeezing. So I can still feel the tension through the inner thigh, and then I can still feel a tension at the front of the belly, helping me to stabilize that movement, to stabilize that squeeze. 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, and releasing back, releasing the leg, relaxing the hips. I'm going to work in reverse. So I've got a little bit more connection to the inside. I want a little bit more to the outside of the leg. If you're lying down, you don't need anything as the weight of the leg is plenty on its own. So I'm going to bend both knees again. One leg is back on top of the other. And then keeping the feet together, I'm going to start opening up into my clown. So I'm going to try and turn and open that leg out. And then I'm going to turn and come back. If you're sitting up, if I open and close, I'm not working against gravity. I need a little resistance. So I can use my hand on the side of the leg, and then I'm just going to push the leg into the hand. So I'm going to create a little resistance using the hand, then I'm going to release and try again. So a little push with the hand, and then the leg pushing against the resistance to open up and then close back. So see if I can be aware of the connection coming down the side of the hip into the side of the bum. So again, it doesn't matter if the movement is absolutely tiny, but see if I can picture that lift. So I want the thigh to roll out and lift at the same time. And then I'm going to release back. Roll out and lift at the same time. And then easing back. 4, 3, 2. Last one. And releasing down. Giving the hip a little tap, relaxing the hip, releasing the leg. It's a little bit more connection down the side too. If you're lying down, I want you to roll over onto the other side. So switching yourself around or turning to face the other way. Setting yourself on the other side. So same as before, we're going to start from the upper body with a little rotation. So I'm going to pull the legs forward and the arm forward until I'm resting on the back of that shoulder. Using the block again to support the head or resting the head down onto the mat. I'm going to place the hand to the back of the head. And then same as on the other side, I'm going to start turning my rib cage out to the side. I'm going to try and open up and rotate as much as I can. And then I'm just going to ease my way back. So I'm going to turn and open. And then ease my way back. So maintaining that gentle rotation going. Same as usual, if you sitting up, or same as you did on the other side, if I'm seated up, I'll be popping the left hand to the back of the head. With the right hand, I'm going to reach across. I'm going to try and push the legs out of the way. And then I'm going to try and lift and turn to follow that left arm around. Then I'm going to ease back, and then again, push the legs away, and then lift and turn, following that left arm around. 5. 4. 3. 2. Last one. Without stiffening, without forcing. And releasing back, releasing the shoulders, adjusting the shoulder, the arm, and then focusing on that top arm. Focusing on that left arm. I'm going to reach it straight up to the front. I'm going to take it out to the side. I'm going to bring it down to the head, back out to the side, and then to the front again. So from the front, I'm going to open to the ceiling, bring it towards the head, back out to the side, and then to the front again. And then noticing the difference. This arm might be feeling easier to move, lighter, or maybe heavier, a little bit stiffer. If it gets too heavy, I'm just going to rest it and then start again when I'm ready to do so. 3. Supporting the weight of the arm into the shoulder socket. 2. Last time. Out to the head, out, and then to the front, coming back. Releasing the arm, relaxing the shoulder, and then I'm going to switch the effort into the legs. So starting with a little squeeze. So again, if I'm sitting, I'm going to pull the ball with the ball between the knees, with the towel between the knees, and then this time focusing on the left leg, squeezing its way in. If I'm lying down, I'm just going to move the bottom leg out of the way, and then put the ball under the top knee. And then same as on the other side, I'm just going to apply a little pressure, trying to squeeze the ball down, relax, squeeze down, relax, squeeze down, relax. So again, notice the tension on this side. I can feel it into the inner thigh. I can feel the band across to the front of the belly. Might feel a little bit into the back of the leg as well. One leg is slightly different from the other. 5. 4, 3, 2, last one, and releasing back, releasing the hip, releasing the inner thigh, and then if you're lying down, bending both knees again, one leg on top of the other, and then reversing the effort to see if I can get into climb. So keeping the feet together, I'm going to try and turn the thigh out, opening the knee, and then closing it back. So think of the effort coming from the side of the hip to the side of the bum this time, and then easing back. If I'm seated, same as for the other leg, I'm going to create a little resistance. So with the hand, I'm going to push against the leg, and then with the leg, I'm going to push against the resistance of the hand to open. Then come back, and then again, little resistance, pushing against it, and then coming back. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, and releasing back. Giving the hip a little tap, relaxing the hip, releasing the leg. When you're ready, pushing yourself slowly up into sitting. See if you can find your comfortable position sitting up. Leaning against the wall or sofa if you need to, using the hands and the back to support you if you need to do so. Finding the seat bones to see if I can plant the seat bones down onto the mat. The legs are in a comfortable position, cross, kneeling, out, whatever works the best. Once you feel that the legs and the hips are set, then focusing on the back. I'm going to try and open up and lift. So I'm going to push my chest forward, I'm going to lift up, I'm going to look forward, look up, look back, creating that nice stretch all the way down the front of the body, all the way to the front of the throat. Then release, letting the chin tuck in, the head drop forward, rounding the upper, rounding the lower back, dropping forward, dropping down. And then I'm curling back up again. Lifting through the chest to see if I can create even more lift, more space at the front of the body. And then release and coming forward, dropping down again. Allow the chin to tuck in, the shoulders, the upper body to come forward and relax. And then last time, I'm curling all the way back, extending up. Looking forward, looking up, looking back. And then release it back to the front. One hand on the belly, one hand on the back. Take your bow. Give yourself a clap on that. Any question or anything as usual, please say. Remember, you need to unmute yourself.